Okay, for number 13, I would suggest first to replace the function notation with y. And then the whole idea when you find an inverse is that you have to swap x and y. You have to exchange them. So notice that y becomes x and x becomes y. All right, so that's what this part is here. Now you have to solve for y. So there's two ways students do this. One way they do it is they cross multiply. That's the way my brain likes to do it. It does this x times the y minus 1. The other way students do it is they get the LCD, which is y minus 1, and they multiply it up, down. And then they cross out the bottom. And that gives you the same thing. So it's up to you how you guys want to solve that. Now, the idea is that here it actually is the inverse when you swap x and y, but it's not formatted correctly. Formatting it correctly means that y has to be isolated. So even though this technically is the inverse, the steps following now that we're going to look at is me formatting it to get y by itself. Okay, so we just talked about the cross multiplication. Now you have to distribute the x in there because you have to break up this this parenthesis term. So I multiplied the x in. Next you have to get both the y terms on the same side. So here's a y term, here's a y term. You need them both on the same side. So I'm going to bring this y term over. That's why you see this, because I subtracted y from both sides. And I need to get rid of this x term because I just want y terms on the left. So that's why you see the x over here, because I added x to both sides to get rid of this. All right, now the next step, it's so obvious it's not obvious. The next step is that you have both the y's on the same side, so that means that you can pull them out as a common factor. So I pull out the y as a common factor, and then I divide off the x minus 1. So here I am, I divided off the x minus 1, and then I end it very nicely by notating it as the inverse. So this is the inverse of the original. So the next part of the question was to take the composite of the inverse with the original, letting x be 2. So there's two ways to do that. You can first take the composite of the two functions, or and then plug in x is 2, or you can just do it step by step, like find f of 2 first, and then, so that's what I did. I did like step by step. So I found f of 2, so here's the f function. I let x be 2, so you can see I did that over here, and that is 4. So f of 2 equals 4, so the inside will simplify to 4. And then, so what becomes the range or the output of f becomes the domain or the input of f inverse. So now I find f inverse of 4. So you take the f inverse function, you plug 4 in for x. I did that over here, and that comes out as 2. And we sort of know that if you take the composite of inverses, that equals x. So if this equals to x and you let x be 2, then the answer has to be 2. But I wanted to see the steps either way. All right, gang, that's it. I'll catch you. Hope that helped.